Welcome to today's news recap. From international policy changes to new cabinet picks and evolving corporate strategies, we're covering the major headlines shaping the world right now. Let's dive in. Biden to urge Trump not to halt aid to Ukraine. In anticipation of their meeting on Wednesday, President Biden plans to push President-elect Donald Trump to continue U.S. support for Ukraine. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan explained that Biden will argue for sustained aid to stabilize Europe and uphold America's global commitments. He noted, walking away from Ukraine means more instability in Europe, and highlighted how this could impact U.S. allies in Asia as well. With Trump set to take office in January, the Biden administration is fast-tracking its remaining $6 billion aid package for Ukraine, aiming to complete it by January 20th. Biden hopes to strengthen Ukraine's position on the battlefield, especially as potential peace negotiations approach. The transition has stirred concerns over the future of U.S. foreign policy in the region. Spirit Airlines flight hit by gunfire amid escalating violence in Haiti. A Spirit Airlines flight from Fort Lauderdale to Haiti was diverted after being struck by gunfire during its approach to land in Port-au-Prince. The plane ultimately rerouted to Santiago, Dominican Republic, where medical personnel attended to a flight attendant with minor injuries. The incident underscores Haiti's rising violence and political turmoil, as gangs have been blocking access to airports and spreading unrest across the country. Haiti's instability deepened after the National Transition Council dismissed interim Prime Minister Gary Conille, replacing him with businessman Alex Didier Fils-Aime. Internal corruption allegations and gang-related violence continue to destabilize the country, leaving the international community concerned over Haiti's future and the safety of those trying to travel there. Trump names Lee Zeldin to lead the EPA, signals deregulatory shift. President-elect Trump has selected former New York Representative Lee Zeldin to head the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, aligning with his goal to scale back federal regulations. Trump announced on Truth Social that Zeldin will focus on enabling American businesses by reducing regulations while aiming to maintain environmental standards. A member of both the Conservative Climate Caucus and the Bipartisan Climate Solutions Caucus, Zeldin brings experience in climate issues but is expected to reverse many of Biden's climate policies. Trump's administration has made deregulation a priority, with proposed changes likely to reshape the U.S. environmental landscape. Critics worry about potential environmental setbacks, while supporters anticipate economic growth spurred by reduced regulatory hurdles. Steve Madden to cut imports from China amid Trump's proposed tariffs. Footwear brand Steve Madden has announced plans to reduce its imports from China by up to 45% next year in response to President-elect Trump's proposed tariffs on Chinese goods. The new tariffs would impose a 60% rate on Chinese imports and up to 20% on goods from other nations. In preparation, Steve Madden is expanding manufacturing operations in countries like Vietnam, Cambodia, Mexico, and Brazil. The National Retail Federation has criticized the tariff plans, warning that higher import costs could reduce consumer spending by billions annually. A study by Trade Partnership Worldwide projects that the tariffs could increase prices on everyday items, including jeans and coats. As the retail industry braces for these changes, companies are moving to adapt to the anticipated economic impact. Trump appoints Tom Homan as border czar to tackle immigration. President-elect Trump has appointed Tom Homan, the former acting director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, as his new border czar. In his new role, Homan will lead intensified efforts to control immigration, targeting up to 1 million deportations each year. Homan emphasized that the focus will be on individuals who pose public safety or national security risks and noted that workplace enforcement will play a critical role in the administration's immigration strategy. Immigration was a major point of Trump's campaign, and his administration plans a coordinated push to strengthen border security and enforce immigration laws. The move is expected to escalate efforts to reduce illegal immigration, sparking debates on both sides of the political aisle about the humanitarian and economic impacts of this policy. Record Amish turnout in Pennsylvania. Election due to raw milk crackdown. In an unusual turn, Pennsylvania's Amish community turned out in record numbers for the 2024 election, largely in response to a government crackdown on raw milk production. The crackdown included a raid on Amish farmer Amos Miller's dairy farm, spurring many in the typically neutral Amish community to register and vote for the first time. Signs like "Pray for God's mercy for our nation" were reportedly seen throughout Amish neighborhoods in protest. Conservative activist Scott Pressler played a key role in mobilizing Amish voters, focusing on issues of religious freedom and farming rights. Pressler's efforts reportedly registered 180,000 new Amish voters, potentially tipping Pennsylvania in Trump's favor. This turnout highlights how local concerns can influence national elections and showcases the power of grassroots organizing. Private prison stocks soar as Trump prepares for largest deportation push. Following Trump's election, private prison companies such as CoreCivic and Geo Group saw a sharp rise in stock value, with shares jumping 29% and 42% respectively. Trump's commitment to large-scale deportations has investors anticipating a surge in demand for detention facilities. CoreCivic and Geo Group have long been involved in immigration detention, benefiting from Trump's previous expansion of the system by over 50%. Vice President-elect J.D. Vance has announced plans for 1 million deportations, signaling that private prisons may once again play a central role in the administration's immigration strategy. Critics worry about the ethical implications and potential abuses in detention facilities, while supporters argue that these measures are necessary to enforce immigration laws effectively. And that's a wrap on today's headlines. From international conflicts and airline safety to changes in environmental and immigration policies, it's clear that the political landscape is shifting rapidly. Don't forget to subscribe for more updates, and we'll see you in the next recap.